I'm gonna have a very California day today. I feel like I don't film that much of like my everyday life. I don't know why. I guess normally when I'm out doing fun things, I'm like not in the mood to film it. I'm just there to live it. But today I'm actually in the mood to film. And it's a Sunday and it's sunny and it's warm and I am craving Malibu and I'm craving laying in the sun. So I'm gonna go up to Malibu today and just lay in the sun. Maybe get a smoothie bowl. I've been trying this new thing where I give myself the weekends off from working on like other people's projects, so like my actual work. I'll work on my own stuff, but for the most part, the weekends now are filled with a lot of spaciousness and fun. And I find that when I have a lot of spaciousness in my life is when I feel the most inspired. So it's been going good. It was hard at first to give myself the weekends off because there's always like an opportunity to do work when you work for yourself. But at this point, I just look forward to it. I'm like, okay, doesn't matter how much work I have to do, it's the weekend, I'm not doing any of it. And making that like distinction feels really good and I feel really grateful to be able to do it. So I actually do have to do a tiny bit of work today because it's like very deadline sensitive, but it's just like uploading something and then, you know, doing other things. So it's really easy. But yes, so I'm gonna go to Malibu. And ordinarily I would have like my traditional banana smoothie breakfast, but I actually want to get a special smoothie bowl in Malibu, so I might just eat like one banana and then go get a smoothie bowl in Malibu. I'm gonna have a very Chelsea day today. Just have a lot of fun. I'm so excited! The ocean is so blue and part of me wishes that I brought my swimsuit, but that's okay. It's probably really cold anyways. But I'm just excited to go sit by the water and take it in. It's so funny, like sometimes I take for granted living so close to the beach and I don't go to the beach, and whenever I go I'm like, I need to go here more. So I'm gonna go sit down by the beach and maybe find some shade if there's any. I have moved to the shade because it's very hot. just going for a stroll by myself in Malibu. Hello. I just got back from, well, actually I'm in my car, but I went to the farmer's market in Malibu and I got 2 Korean melons, which are like, it looks like a squash, but apparently they're really, really good sweet melons. I got some little donut peaches and zucchinis too for dinner. And then I also went to Whole Foods because I needed like whole food stuff like bananas and potatoes and frozen fruit and tea. And it's really hot in my car and I'm sweating, but it's now like almost 1 p.m. and I think I'm gonna head home so that I can be home because I just bought all these groceries. I'm sweating as I'm talking, it's so hot in here. But it felt really good to get out. Like, I really love going on little adventures with myself, even just Malibu, which isn't that far away. Just being in a place that I don't go that much and being by myself is so fun. So I had a good time and now I'm gonna go home and I'm sweating so much. I need to stop talking so that I can turn on the air conditioning because it's so hot. But yeah, I'm gonna go home and put the groceries away and then figure out what the rest of my day looks like. This is really good. It tastes like honeydew melon, but with the texture of a cucumber. I forget how hot summer is. I don't have air conditioning. I have like a unit that stands, but it doesn't air condition my whole apartment. And it's only July and I'm like, oh no. This is gonna be a hot summer. It's more incentive to go in the ocean. One thing that has been so important for me lately, and I've definitely mentioned this before, is taking weekends and taking time for myself during those weekends and doing nothing. And I think I'm every day learning more and more how important spaciousness is in my life. Spaciousness is like where my inspiration comes from. And so for me, spaciousness looks like something different every day. Sometimes it's staying home. Like yesterday, I just had worked like a lot this past week. And so it was Saturday and I was like, until like 2-3 p.m. I'm not gonna leave my house. I actually went on like a hike in the morning, but when I got back, all I did for hours was just read and play ukulele. And it was such a reminder of how important it is to just do nothing. I think in the past, when I had things like Instagram on my phone or when I watched a lot of YouTube, in those moments in between, like when I would be sitting and eating my food or when I would just sit on the couch in general or have breaks in between things, it seemed like every free moment was an opportunity for me to pull out my phone and start scrolling. And it was something that was so habitual and so a part of my life that I didn't even realize that I was necessarily like doing it so much. And then I don't really remember what pushed me fully to do this, but I just somewhere around like November of 2020, I got really tired of being on Instagram and Like, it just felt like it wasn't worth my time anymore. And so I deleted Instagram off of my phone. And once I did that, I really realized how much of those in-between moments I had spent just scrolling on my phone. And I don't think there's anything wrong with social media. I think it's a really amazing tool, and it's literally what I do for a living. Like, I do social media for people, and I create content for people. It can be such an inspiring thing and such a beautiful look into so many different areas of our world and the ways that people live and the stories and just wisdom in general. And so I really love it for that purpose. But in my own life, I find it really helpful for me to not be on social media. Like, I have Instagram, like I have an account, but it's not downloaded on my phone, and I only go on it if I'm on my computer. Sometimes I'll go on it, for work if I need a link or something like that, or occasionally because I'll have messages come in. But other than that, I don't go on Instagram, and I don't miss it. It just once I got distance from it, I really realized like how much time it was taking up, how much mental space it was taking up. And I think sometimes it may seem like those in-between moments are nothing but mundane. But what I've found, and especially recently what has been continuing to reoccur in my life, is that what I do with those in-between moments creates the default for my experience of life. So even if I have a bunch of exciting things going on in my life and I'm happy with my career and all this stuff, for me personally, if I'm not taking those like in-between moments to just sit down and do nothing and meditate or just breathe or just be and be bored in a good way, I find that my life starts to feel a little bit crowded and I stop feeling inspired. And so in my own personal life, I feel like I've come to the conclusion for myself that the amount of spaciousness that I have in my life directly corresponds to the amount of inspiration that I feel. And so I'm really learning how to integrate this spaciousness into my day-to-day life instead of like working a ton and then getting burnt out and then needing to take a week of spaciousness. I'm trying to learn how to bring spaciousness into my day, into my routines, into my weekends. And it's been a long practice and process that I've been doing for a long time of finding joy in the simple moments and just creating space for myself. But I feel like I've come to a new chapter of it where I'm really learning how to integrate it into my work life. So like for me, that means eating melon. So for me, that has meant going on more walks throughout the day. When I eat my meals, sitting down and doing nothing while I eat them, continuing up with my morning practice, which I've been doing for a long time now, consistently, which is meditating and doing yoga, and then some other things as well, depending on the day, but always meditating and always yoga. My morning practice nowadays is usually about an hour and a half, sometimes a little longer and sometimes a little shorter, but an hour and a half is like the general rule of thumb for me. And also taking a moment to breathe before I go to bed. And lastly, something that I've been doing is taking my weekends and like creating not just fun time with friends and with people and enjoying myself, but creating time where I am just by myself. Whether it be like yesterday where I was sitting on the couch and doing nothing, but in a good way doing nothing, or like today where I went to Malibu and just had fun. I feel like those moments where I'm alone with myself are the moments where I remember who I am. And I'm someone who does enjoy being alone a lot, and it's been a practice for me learning how to be around other people. And so it feels so important for me to have a lot of alone time, because in my alone time, I strengthen, my relationship with who I am and understand myself better. And then when I go out into the world or in social settings with friends, I show up as more of myself and just like, I don't know. I think it's easy in our lives. My smoothie bowl from earlier had pineapple in it, and it kind of bothers my throat. I think it's so common to get caught up in the busyness of our lives. And I would say especially living in a city where it's just like a lot of constant energy and noise. And so within all of that, for me, the spaciousness and the alone time has been so important. And I'm really right now, like really learning how to do it with working and everything. But yeah, so today was really nice to just go to Malibu and just go be in the sun, go wander around by myself. And yeah, I just wanted to share that because it's been such a thing for me lately of like, I realized, and I've said this in other videos when I was reflecting on my time in Costa Rica, but prior to going to Costa Rica, I really burned myself out. And I came back and I have the full intention to not do that anymore and not overwork myself, not work my weekends, not work more than 10 hours a day. And it's been the most fun thing ever, committing to myself, like, hey, I'm going to choose to have fun every single day. And like whatever doesn't align with having fun every single day and taking care of myself, it's done. And it's a practice, but it's been really good. And yeah. I think for the rest of my day, I'm just going to hang out inside and maybe read and play ukulele and edit some videos for myself and take it easy. Maybe I'll catch the sunset. I don't know. That is my Sunday. I appreciate you listening to this video. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're doing well and taking care of yourself. And I just hope that in your own life, you are able to find even just a nugget more of spaciousness and just learn how to take more time for yourself, spend more time with yourself, and fall in love with all of those in-between moments, because those are the moments that make up the depth of what life is. And everything else is just extra, just a cherry on top. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day today.